community to be separated by walls. I wanted to tear down walls.
My biggest aim for Israel's future is to reach a point of nonviolence very similar to here in Northern Ireland.
I was born and raised in East Jerusalem. I witnessed firsthand violence. As a little girl, I saw some of my own neighbors being killed in front of our eyes. I don't want my son to grow up in this atmosphere where I know that I can do something to make life for him feel a little bit more safe and secure.
Ever since I was very young, I felt that was something wrong with the narrative I was told about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And only when I grew up and started getting out of Israel and being more inquisitive, I realized I have the power to bring forth change.
A history of one conflict can teach us a lot about another conflict.
British Unionists raised a militia army.
And coming to Belfast with other activists from both Palestine and Israel, I've learned the important role that civil society played in ending the violence here.
Civil society organizations are the ones that create movement within the people, and this is why this is a force that has to be echoed and empowered, because when this force has enough traction, politicians have to listen.
The Good Friday Agreement is not the blueprint for the Middle East. There are lessons from the Good Friday Agreement, I think, that have relevance. And one of those lessons is the role of civic society. Civic society is the social glue that holds our peace process together. Civic society and peace building here was funded by the international community through the International Fund for Ireland to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars, starting over a decade before the Good Friday Agreement. That massive investment in civic society is what provided the foundation of peace and also helped sustain it to this day.
If we look by contrast in Northern Ireland, the international community spent over $44 per person per year, every year, for over 20 years. And in Israel-Palestine, it's less than $2 per person per year. That differential is enormous. So we think that the international community owes a debt to Israelis and Palestinians to replicate the model taken by the International Fund for Ireland and radically scale the sort of peace-building programs that can bring communities together and generate the ideas, the leaders, and the trust needed for real conflict resolution. ALLMEP has been working with governments around the world for quite a while now to socialize the idea of civil society peace-building being a core component of real diplomacy and conflict resolution. It's an argument that I hope we're now beginning to win.
Labour has long supported LFI's campaign for the establishment of an international fund for Israeli-Palestinian peace.
Creating the International Fund for Peace for Israel and Palestine, like the International Fund for Ireland, that is going to elevate the number of people who are humanizing one another, who are building bridges, who are choosing a different way to express themselves and ultimately to reconcile with one another. And this is one of the most important lessons that we can learn from Northern Ireland.
I actually believe that I will live to see the end of the conflict in Israel-Palestine. There are these forces that are grassroots organizations within Israeli society, within Palestinian society, that are very much opposed to the violence, that are acting upon building bridges and creating dialogue. These people exist.
As a peace activist, it's sometimes hard not to lose hope, especially in these times. But having seen how achieving an end to violence is possible here in Northern Ireland, my hope has been reignited.